So we got to start with the definition of mutually exclusive.
Very good. Very good. Where are my glasses? Okay. In order for two events to be mutually exclusive, two events are mutually exclusive if they cannot occur at the same time. So, for example, if we're drawing cards, drawing a red card and drawing a spade. If I draw one card, it can't be red and a spade at the same time. So that means that's mutually exclusive. Does that make sense?
No.
That makes sense.
Okay, so if you draw...
You never write spade.
Yeah,
No, you can't. Spades are black.
What?
What are the red cards in a deck?
I don't know.
Hearts and diamonds. So if I draw a red card, it can't be a spade or a club.
Oh, okay.
So those are mutually exclusive.
Oh, okay, now it makes sense.
So let's look at a Venn diagram of things that are mutually exclusive. I think sometimes it helps visual people. Anybody in here consider themselves a visual person, a visual learner? Okay, so if this is a Venn diagram, and this is an event, this is A, and this is event B.
Oh, Lord.
Can you move the screen?
Yep. If they're mutually exclusive, my events do not cross over.
Oh, man. You did that wrong.
Yes.
Not this. This.
Okay, so some really simple examples of mutually exclusive events. Running forward and running backward. You cannot run forward and run backward at the same time. You are either running forward or you are running backward. You cannot do both. That is mutually exclusive. Contrary to popular belief, you cannot be male and female at the same time. That is a mutually exclusive thing. You are either male or you are female. Period. End of story.
Do you look around in your classroom to make sure who's in there before you say that one?
No, I that's fact. That is scientific
But
fact.
you can be a hermaphrodite.
So, right, sure. So, those things are mutually exclusive. Let's see. You can't be a freshman and a senior at the same time.
Well,
You're either a freshman or you're a senior. Anybody who's a freshman, you can be a freshman who's been in high school for 4 years, but you are still a freshman, no doubt. If you have less than 5 credits, you are a freshman, period. So those things are mutually exclusive. You can't. Now, something that is mutually inclusive. Let's do a school example of something that's mutually inclusive. You can be a high school student and a college student at the same time. Because many of you are. You're taking dual credit and you are both. So those are mutually inclusive events, not exclusive. But exclusive means that whatever the events are, they cannot happen at the same time. So if we're going to be things that are what they call, so not mutually exclusive can also be called mutually inclusive. I don't know why they use both terminologies, but it means the same thing. And the Venn diagram of things that are mutually inclusive would cross over.
my circles are so bad.
our college high school example, A would be college students, B would be high school students, and the area in the middle would be dual credit students because they're both. Does that make sense? All right. Yay. So see, this is not hard.
Yes.
It's not yet. It's not hard. All right. So
What
steps
you said about this?
to determine. It's not hard. Steps to determine if things. I think that what happens on those really is like what Julia was saying. On one example, it's 6 cards, and then the very next example, it's 5 cards, and you're still thinking 6 because you did 6 before, or you, for a moment, you think 5 is an even number, or it's just silly stuff like that that makes those hard. All right. So first thing we're going to do is decide if one of these statements is true. Y'all are going to just
Have you got 100 yet?
No.
You're gonna get one.
I hope so.
Just mine.
I hope so.
You like that mentality?
I do like it.
Julia?
I do.
Thank you, Miss Wayne.
Yep. See you in a little bit. All right, so you're going to decide if any of these 3 statements are true. First thing you're going to ask yourself is if whether or not event A and B can occur at the same time. Or you're going to ask yourself, well, do event A and B have no outcomes in common? Or is the probability of an A and B equal to 0? If any of the above are true, then the events are mutually exclusive. All right, so we're going to go through these examples, and we're going to ask ourselves the 3 questions on each
Pardon
example.
this interruption, teachers and students.
Sure.
In preparation for this evening's homecoming parade and writing of the letters, if you are parked in the ag parking lot, please make sure you are out of the parking lot or your car is moved by 4:30. Thank you.
Fine, I leave after this class anyway.
All right, so in example 1, we are rolling 1 die. What can event A and event B happen at the same time?
No, we're just rolling 1 dice.
No. So we already know they're mutually exclusive. So you don't have to ask yourself 2 and 3 because you already know from part 1 that they're mutually exclusive. All right, so let's look at example 2. We're going to randomly select a female student, and we're going to randomly select an engineering major.
Yes.
Could those things happen Could those two things occur at the same time?
Yeah.
Yes, they could. So the answer to number 1 is that they could occur at the same time. So let's try number 2. Event A and B have no outcomes in common. Well, could those two things have outcomes in common?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they could. Is the probability of A and B, that means the probability of the first thing happening times the probability of the second thing happening, do they equal 0? No. So in this case, they are not mutually exclusive, or they are mutually inclusive. And where it says explain, up here at the top where it said explain, I think I would just say a female student could be an engineering major. All right, so take a second look at 3. What do you think about 3? Mutually exclusive or not mutually exclusive?
Not mutually
Not mutually exclusive. Why not?
because males can have egg blood type.
Exactly.
This feels easy now, but I'm sure give it a minute. It's gonna be hard.
It's not. I tell you what happens with mutually exclusive and inclusive is that people, for some reason, and I guess I kind of understand maybe, get it confused with independent and dependent.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
See, there's somebody who did that.
All right, so